everyone, I'm Deddy Credo, VP of Customer Facing Data Science at Explorium. I'm very excited to introduce you to the latest addition to the Explorium external data platform, the Signal Studio. The Signal Studio enables data and data science teams access a wide universe of external sources, find the signals that are most relevant for their specific use cases, and then automate the data transformation and integration tasks with their pipelines. I'm going to go ahead and start by creating a new project on the Signal Studio. Now, for this example, I'm an analyst in the marketing department of a large consumer packaged goods company. What I'd like to do here is take a list of leads that I can either source from my CRM or directly from the Explorium platform. This list of leads has some very basic information about each one of these leads. And then I would like to add additional context about them that will enable me to better prioritize them for my sales team. So what I'm going to do here is take this file that I have and basically upload it into the Exploring platform, this file of leads. These are SMBs. So each line here represents a small business. We have some basic information about each one of these businesses, like it's the company name, location, website information, and that's basically it. And then what I would like to do here, and you can see I'm starting to enrich it through the Signal Studio, through the Exploring catalog. What I'd like to do is to add additional context about these businesses that would allow me to better prioritize them, better sort them, and better decide which ones I want to send out to my field sales teams. So what I would like to do is, what I would first like to do is to get some context about the online presence of the business, like how popular they are, how many reviews they're getting, for example. Then I'd like to also get information about the actual size of the business, like maybe revenue or employee number, stuff like that. And I also would like to understand the industry of the business, because that's very crucial for me, because we only target certain types of businesses. And lastly, we'd like to also add some context about the physical footprint of the business, like maybe how many visitors they're getting. So first I'll start kind of by searching these types of signals on the catalog so that we can see here inside the Signal Studio. So I'm going to go ahead and focus on maybe company information that I'm interested in. And I'm going to search for reviews. And I'm going to add the reviews, and maybe also the rating of these reviews is also very relevant. So we can see these signals are being added here to the original data that I loaded, and we can kind of see the statistics about them. I'll also go ahead and maybe do some transformation here, like adding dates, because I would also like to add some foot traffic data that we mentioned, like visits data. So for that, I need like the date, which I don't have in the original data that I loaded. So I'm going to go to the transformation section and add dates. Maybe I'll add just one date, 14 days ago, and I'm going to go ahead and do that very quickly. So we've added the date 14 days ago. And based on that, kind of the combination of the location of the business and the date, we will be able to also add foot traffic or visits information for that specific time frame. So in addition, I might also want to add data about kind of the size of the business that we mentioned. So let's search for maybe revenue, so we can get their annual revenue. And maybe the employee information. So let's add the estimated number of employees. And we can see kind of how we are building out this data set to give us additional context about each one of these businesses. And maybe also the industry information, right? So Nike's code is kind of a good representation of industry. So this is kind of the industry identifier that we can add here, and then we can it will help us maybe better focus on certain industries that we are interested in kind of serving. And then kind of lastly for this section, let's also add this kind of visits information, this foot traffic. This comes from anonymized mobile devices. So what I can do is add the percentage delta from the benchmark. So this is basically the benchmark is pre-COVID-19, before the pandemic. So I can actually see kind of what is the percentage of traffic that these businesses are getting nowadays versus what they used to get pre-COVID. And then I can also adjust the raw number, like the total number of visitors that they had in the kind of period of 14 days from that date. So I'll add that in here as well. And to just kind of summarize what we've done so far is basically we took a very limited list of leads that has some basic information like the business name, location, and their website. We've added the context on their online activities, like the reviews that they're getting and the ratings for those reviews. We've added information about the company size, those companies' sizes, like how much revenue they're getting and how many employees they have. We've added context about their industry through the NICE code, the industry identifier. We've also added a date and time that we want to use to bring the foot traffic for that date in combination with the date and the location. So we've added that, and then we were able to also add the visitors they were getting 14 days before that date, as well as how they're doing versus the foot traffic that they had pre-COVID. So we've added a lot of context about all these businesses. And now what we can go ahead and do is maybe do some filtering. So I'm going to go ahead and say, let's say I want to only focus on businesses that maybe have annual revenue above, I don't know, what, 25K, for example. And maybe in addition to that, I want to filter further and say, we only want certain number of reviews. So maybe, I don't know, companies that have at least 10 online reviews, right? Lower than that, they're probably, and they're not a high quality lead for me, from just based on kind of my history and my understanding of what leads are better and what leads are not. Um, and finally, we can also filter on foot traffic. So let's look at maybe that percentage delta from the pre-COVID benchmark and say that we only want businesses that have at least 30% of the foot traffic that they used to get prior to the pandemic. So you probably may have noticed by now that as I'm doing all these actions, this flow section is being built out. And it basically includes all the steps that I've done so far. It includes adding all these signals as well as doing all these filtering actions that I've done to kind of hone in on the list of leads that are most relevant for me. And what that does, it enables us to then automate this process. So before I'm going to kind of finish that automation process, maybe I'm also going to add some contact info. So it's something I haven't mentioned so far, but now that we have these lists of leads that we know we want to focus on, we might want to bring in like their phone number so we can contact them, right? So I'm going to go to the catalog and search for contact, and now I have the contact phone number, and I will add a contact phone number so I can give my sales team kind of a complete prioritized list, including the contact information for these businesses. And kind of to summarize this again, now we have the full kind of pipeline or kind of full flow of actions that is documented here. And we can basically automate and schedule this entire process. So going forward, when I get a new list of leads, or even when I source these leads from Explorium, I can then run this flow, or you can think about it as a recipe of actions in order to add all this context to these businesses and also do additional kind of transformation and filtering actions on them. And then finally, we can basically set a schedule for this. So we can basically also set an input and an output. We can say, let's say, bring it from Snowflake every day at a certain time, and then run this process, enrich the data, do the filtering and transformation, add the contact information, and then put the output in another Snowflake table and do this, as I mentioned, on a schedule basis. So this summarizes the process that I wanted to demonstrate today around Signal Studio. Again, Very excited about the opportunity to share this with everyone. Just wanted to finish up by highlighting that if you guys are interested in more information and in kind of figuring out what are the signals that could be relevant for your specific use cases, feel free to click on the link and we can schedule a private demonstration. So thank you very much for your time and yeah, hope to see you soon.